little things. So I'm actually pretty impressed with just overall how this game kind of went out. I mean, Echo Fox, 1 kill given total across these 2 games. That's not too bad.
Just as a quick note, one of the streams seems to be having some issues.
Yep, no, it's we did have to restart everybody. The stream, something happened where we just quick restart. I mean, it should be live. A little bit of a delay, so you guys aren't going to see it until the delay kicks in. But once we're kicked and going, it should be all right. All right, cool. Yep, not too bad, guys, and we're now on to the next series here in just a few moments. We're going to be getting to that in just a little bit. You guys are not going to miss it right after this short break. So series number 3 tonight, still in the second round of the winner's bracket in a few moments.
Only $14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.
Hey everybody, welcome back as we get ready for our third series today. And it probably will be our last series, pretty close to the last one as we get ready. It is going to be NRG versus, I believe it is Best Anime Girls. I think they made their way up through the bracket. And let me just confirm that that is in fact the roster for Best Anime Girls. It is, yes! So we're getting ready to move right into this next series, guys. Definitely looking to be an exciting one.
I'm hoping so. If this is really the best anime girls that NA has to offer, then can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Best anime waifu. I mean, girls.
No.
Yeah.
Girls, come on.
Girls,
Have
my
some
bad.
respect.
All right, actually gotta get some stuff here updated. I do apologize everyone for the brackets. Little issue there. We'll get that updated for you guys in just a second. But yeah, all right. So let's talk a little bit about this. We were talking about this actually at the beginning of the show. We were talking kind of while we were waiting for the second series to start. You know, this has been a team that's been kind of up and down. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Dalsey, to start off. What do we really need to see here? I mean, this is a 12 seed versus a 21 seed, but I think we can all both say, all of us agree, that we really want to see that come in really, really strong this game.
Tell me, Dragon, do you believe in energy? As you know, I think for them this matchup is certainly important, but tomorrow's against presumably Rage Pingers is going to be, you know, the real testament to their roster, what kind of work they've been doing in the off season. I say off season, you know, the week of off season that they've had between, you know, splits. So I really want to see what the team has been doing to build strategy, to build synergy, to build aggressiveness, to build you know, it's kind of like chess, right? And you know, maybe Hearthstone, you use this term called lethal. When you miss a lethal, that's probably the worst thing that you can do in those kind of games. And Vainglory has lethal as well. It's sometimes a little bit less obvious because as a MOBA, it's built up over time. Lethal can happen over time, but I want to be able to see these teams get to the stage where they put a team, you know, into lethal, being this this move where you now end the game from it, and they stick it.
Yeah, and that's a really great analogy, you know, and it kind of all sports really is about kind of, there's a little bit of luck, right? Like, you know, making sure all of the hard work that you've practiced, everything falls together the way you want it to fall together. And, you know, there's a bit of decision making, there's a little bit of strategy, and then, you know, you kind of just need it all to come together at the right moment. And like you said, just with practice, with dedication, you'll eventually get it. And sometimes sooner than you expect, maybe sometimes a little bit later than you expect. I think we're about ready to actually get into this. Oddly enough, or not oddly, this is pretty normal, but we have a 12 seed against a 21 seed. So looking right back at you as we get ready. I think we're ready to start game number 1 between NRG and Best Anime Girls.
Heartache, Chambo, and Believe. Where's the Gaspy?
Gaspy has rebranded, my friend. Do you believe in energy?
Oh, I don't like that. Go back.
Gaspy does as well.
The great Gaspy was such a great way to kind of start off things there.
You're going to have to believe now. You're going to believe in the new name.
All right. I'll deal with it.
We're going to find out what NRG's got up their sleeve, maybe some of the changes they've made as we get into this matchup here. It is going to be NRG versus Best Anime Girls.
And energy on your A side, going to ban away the Fortress. Expect a Lyra ban coming out of the Best Anime Girls, or Teabag for short, of course. Adagio will be the insta-lock though from energy. Very standard stuff. If we get a Grumpjaw here, this is almost certainly a Grumpjaw coming out of Teabag. Seems to be very popular. I think it's going to be kind of maybe it won't be actually now that the Rona's locked in. Have to see. But CP Grumpjaw, we saw it in the challenge battles, brought to competitive play. It's something that's been on my radar since 2.3 came out. Very strong. In fact, we saw Echo Fox play it as well as One Piece 101. So we'll have to see if Teabag have it in mind as well.
Are you just saying Teabag in like just to be that guy?
Best Anime Girls, man. It's just shortened to Teabag.
Okay. This is sort of a gray area for me here, Dazzy, because I've not actually personally gotten to cast a Grumpjaw game yet.
Well, let me tell you, it does tons of damage.
Maybe.
It's the B ability that does it all. We're not going to see it now. This is like a Grumpjaw in the captain position, actually a triple melee comp as well into an Arden, and a Darjo, and a Cruel.
Yeah, Krill's gonna have a freaking field day here.
There's not many times that I say a team didn't consider their draft very well, but I feel like this is one of those times.
Well, you never know. The best anime girls might actually be able to strut their stuff and turn a lot of heads. But Grumpjaw coming into the captain, we're gonna have to see if he can kind of remove Kroll out of the equation for a few seconds. There's a good chance that extra time of removing the weakness stacks and everything else could actually be the big change that they need right there. But that being said, Energy has quite a bit of history, especially their players, the organization, and of course this comp is going to be looking for retribution and get back into the VG8 again.
And the way you counter a Grumpjaw is via stuns. Energy, the only insta stun they have is the from Hell's Heart from Hardek. Believe, who is Gaspy for those who missed the name change. He's changed his name from Gaspy to Believe. They have, I guess, the Gauntlet War, but that's a little bit more harder to hit, and of course the Burst of Judgment, but that's a channeled ability. So I feel like Energy kind of are feeling like the Grumpjaw's a non-factor. Really, their aim is to take down Rock Bomber here as well as Naruto, and a bit of a mistake. Rock Bomber tanks the Treant, was wanting the heal from it, and actually went over to Naruto Uzumaki. So, that's a tough start.
Okay, how are you pronouncing Taka's name?
Taka's name is, you know what? You would expect me to be able to say Naruto better. I can say Uzumaki. Like,
Naruto.
Naruto. You know what? I actually had the misfortune of not watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid.
Has nothing to. Oh, we're gonna have a discussion after this game, Dazzy.
I'm just tricking you, Falco. I
know.
Oh, that was too easy.
Getting
too
my
easy.
Blood boiling here. Alright, fine.
I heard Yu-Gi-Oh was a good anime, but I preferred Corey in the House. It looks like it's going to be First Blood coming on over for Energy. No, actually, they're not able to quite find it. Rock Bomber just about gets away. Abstract Wolf, under the turret, will try and clear the way. Has to be careful that he doesn't lose his life. Energy want to punish, and punish they will. Good move from Energy there to take the kill. That's the kind of lethal that we're talking about in the break, before the game, that Energy needs to be hitting. If they see a kill, if they see an opportunity, they cannot miss it.
Simply because we don't have really any kind of ranged out from the anime girls here either. It's just, if they want to commit, they're going to have to just stick with it. Like, otherwise, Believe is just going to have a bit more of a field day, as he's going to be the only range. And then again, even in a 1v1, Hardek, in theory, is going to be able to just kind of outduel all of them simply because of the weakness stacks and the self-healing that he's going to be bringing. And that's some really dangerous kind of stuff here for the anime girls. So their big core strength will be combining everything and looking for these big commits. If they don't have these commits, or if they aren't finding these engages, then they do risk kind of just getting poked down a little bit there by Believe, who is going to be really bringing forth a lot of damage here fairly soon. And that's just going to go downhill for them.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you there. Just need to, they need to make their combination work. It's all about going in as one, making sure that they lock down a target. Believe most likely the main target there for themselves. But it's, if they don't have the coordination, then it's going to be Energy kind of just stumbling over them.
And we don't want to see that. I would actually really like to see, these some team give energy a bit more of a run for its money, but we'll have to see what does come through. So far, it's just been a lot of farming. Other than that one kill under turret where Abstract Wolf really kind of left to his own devices. He is big, he is slow. It's like kind of bullying up against a Finn here early game. There is a lot that energy can do for this one, especially when he goes in like that.
Yeah, Abstract Wolf looks for the engage, doesn't quite find it. Rock Bomber is putting aggression down, but it's going to have to use into the fray, out of the fight. And that is going to be once more the best anime girls on the back foot. We're going to see Tato make their way in. Abstract Wolf engaging once more, but what is Rona doing? Rock Bomber, where are you at? That could have been potential kills, potential damage if you had followed up with your team.
Potential, but unfortunately nothing really to come through for it for now. But again, like, Believe has been really farming up very nicely. Pretty much uncontested at this point. He's up to 37 of those last hits. The laner from Rock Bomber actually surpassing him by a good bit. But at the same time, again, I'm not entirely too sure Believe is really too worried about that. He does have his first tier 3 item. He does have the alternating current ready to go. Rock Bomber just picks up that Serpent's Mask, so you can see some of these items coming online. Naruto here has already picked up into the Storm Crown there as well. And Hardik, well, we're going to be waiting a little bit longer for a combine on him, but lots of tier 2 just kind of floating around on him.
Yeah, no, and actually, I kind of like this on a crew as well. I don't think you need to rush into offensive items. In fact, you can get the heavy steel, you can get the blazing soul bow, and then build up a bit of defensive as well. Because realistically, all you need is attack speed to make the your B ability work. Build up the weakness stacks on your passive and then smite them down, or hold it onto them until they're in kill range. I think the best crews get onto the damage dealer, apply the weakness stacks, and cut down the damage that they can deal out until enough damage has been done that a smite will execute.
I wonder how Grumpjaw kind of evolved. That walking animation is very foreign to me, but we'll have to see if it works out. He is level 4. It's going to be a while until we hit that level 6.
Yep, to be engaged, there's the Burst of Judgment, and 3-man stun comes on forward, and that's going to be Naruto going down as Energy find one more kill. Hardik diving on in. They're just going to start up the turret aggression here. Rock Bomber on 2. Cruel Chombo just going to take a turret shot for the team. But Energy, they're in ahead, but their composition still may struggle a little bit to siege against the current picks that Teabag have.
Yeah, but at the same time, Energy, like, you saw the power of Believe right there, right? As soon as he got jumped, 3-man stun with the burst, no problem. They turn it right back around. It might not be the best early game siege, but give it a little bit. Like, once Hardik gets into his defensive, gets into finally a tier 3, and once Believe has 2-3 items under his belt, those turrets will not be an issue. So I don't think there's even really a big thing to rush into it either. So yeah, they got the kill, yeah, they got the damage done. I think that's perfectly acceptable to duck out from there. You don't need to rush down anything. That's what Echo Fox really kind of showed us, right? You might have a lot of hype behind your team, but if you don't take the chances, then you can't really give up anything in a weird or risky move.
I agree as well. So we're going to see another bit of a skirmish in the lane once more. Hardik may lose his life, he will. Rock Bomber just about gets away with it as well. The shielding to take a little bit extra of that turret shot. Skull Trap though almost finds a kill for Chombo, but in the end, a kill secured. What can they do with it? It's going to be, Naruto going in and finding himself some of the jungle camps. Energy pushing the lane up to put pressure though onto Teabag, force them back into the lane, force them away from their own jungle.
Alright, Rock Bomber is still going neck and neck here with Believe in lane. 82 to, 76 as Rock Bomber was a little bit late to the lane as he did head back after the fight, but he did pick up second item there. That's something that we don't actually have complete here for Believe, at least yet. He's going to be building into it, it'll probably, again, that Broken Myth as quick as he can, but he does have a Reflex. That is something that Rock Bomber does not have. And in terms of picking up into that Reflex block, into even just a Crucible, I would expect Abstract Wolf to be looking into that, but he bought himself a flare gun.
Bit strange. What makes you? What do you think that's all about? I can understand a contraption rush coming out of Chombo because of the Tucker, but perhaps that's exactly it. Maybe Abstract Wolf is so used to building a counter contraption that he's just rushing it.
I'm not entirely too sure anything's really going to come out of it. It's just dumping in that 600 gold. I think it's 600 gold. Still this early on, especially up against non-stealth. It's just it feels like anime girls are just wanting to use the flares for engage. Like just hit the bush, move on. Hit the bush, move on. Let the charges, rinse, repeat. If he does go into a contraption, I'd be very surprised. I think a crucible would work out way better here for the anime girls.
Yep. Dodge away from a gauntlet or even a burst of judgment or both if energy uses it as a combination. So I'm 100% with you, but
there it is. Wow.
So, and this is kind of like, I completely understand this from Abstract Wolf if the contraption had been built up by Chombo, which is kind of sometimes the case when you're against Tucker. But actually what Chombo is doing is prioritize wall treads, which allows energy to take fights easier and quicker and jump on those opportunities. And it's just investing into buying scout traps and flares. So I don't know. It seems a little bit odd from Abstract Wolf.
Well, the other advantage of the contraption is the cooldown reduction. 40% cooldown reduction, a little bit of energy regen there as well. Abstract Wolf, I mean, I can't imagine he's going to become a rapid fire ability slinger, but I mean, there are some advantages. I'm just not entirely too sure this is the advantage that they want. Now, they are using the contraption already, putting down scout traps, trying to take control of the mid area here with the gold mine, but not entirely too sure that's the play that they need to be going for right now.
Perhaps not. If they can take the gold mine, and then that's a sizable chunk of gold, which would actually put them close to the lead. Really what they're trying to do is bait a fight with Abstract Wolf's abilities up. They do get the gold mine. Will energy look for a fight is the question. We haven't really seen much of a use of a gauntlet or a burst of judgment to really start anything here, which says to me that energy don't want to fight. They don't feel like they're ready for it.
So the reason why I wasn't sure that a gold miner play was really what they should be setting up for is because there was a big wave up in lane.
Yeah, actually finding Chombo here, gauntlet used defensively. Does lock them in the burst of judgment, and the stuns do come through. Rock Bomber taking a huge chunk of damage. Gets smited. Hell's hard to try and lock him in, but here we go. Here's the eat up, the crew in the belly of the Grumpjaw. That's not really where he wants to be. Fountains go out, everyone healed on up. Hardek chasing Abstract Wolf down. 2 kills already for energy, but Hardek senses jungle camps at the backs to take and believes going to finish off this turret here for energy. The anime girls trying to get aggressive, trying to be proactive, and I 100% appreciate from them just not having the execution at the end of it.
So to finish the thought before we go into the fight, that turret came down to the last of its legs. Like, while all that gold miner stuff was happening, the wave basically killed out the turret. Like, energy went over and sneezed on it and picked up the gold. So that's why I was really trying to caution the gold miner. Like, the gold miners will respawn, your turret's down. So at the same time, that fight with that Arden gauntlet going out, then Believe to follow that up with the Burst of Judgment, Hardek was really the only one kind of taking damage from the red mist, at least on my device here from Rock Bomber, and they were kind of stuck behind a rock wall. Like, the combos did not land.
Yeah, they're currently trying to single out Hardek here, but Believe's just got free reign. Not able to reflex block the ult there, but Abstract Wolf's all by himself. Believe is just been put to a safe end. Rock Bomber comes in, but Believe at the moment is actually going to get singled down, not quite able to get the heals coming through from Chombo or any sustain. Does find a return kill though. The fire does a bit of work. And finally we do see, maybe some more conventional defense items coming out of Abstract Wolf. Finishes off the Crucible, which was pretty huge in making sure that a Burst of Judgment Gauntlet couldn't really do as much as it would. However, those abilities were down. Another gauge onto Chombo. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but Harding coming in here. That's looking for kills onto both of them. Weakness stacks being built right up as it's self-sustaining right through it. There's the Gauntlet going down, but it eats up there. Abstract Wolf just wants to walk on through, but it's not going to happen. Hardek jumps straight back onto Naruto, and that's going to be Believe taking the kill. Burst of Judgment doesn't quite find the kill into Abstract Wolf, and the burn will stop. Rock Bomber looks like he'll be able to get away here. Maybe a bit of a mistake from Belief to use the burst in that way.
Another thing is the Abstract Wolf did survive. He was down to the last bar of health, but just nobody there to pick him up. The fights are actually pretty even, going back and forth. That's a brave move, but Rock Bomber looking to get the return.
Yeah, and perhaps we'll even get it. Fountain comes out, but no, nothing's there. What is this? Breaking point? 18 stacks on Rock Bomber,
Yeah, man.
double kill.
Get that red mist going.
Yeah, you stick to your targets. We're going to have to see some movement speed coming out of Belief. Rush some, you know, tier 2, tier 3 boots. If the Vanguard is not enough to get them to safety.
Alright, so a few things on that one is first, these fights are actually going very even across the board. Like the gold difference between these guys pretty negligible, but as well there's a little bit of a lack of an output here from energy that Teabag is starting to finally kind of outshadow or outclass at this point. Like they're putting energy in their shadow. Like you just saw right there, 2-item Rock Bomber with those double defensives gets himself that double. Naruto has been able to weave in and out, getting a lot of bursts down. But a lot of the time, the targets have either been Heartache, or then they swap to Believe, right? They use the Hangry from Abstract Wolf to try to reposition and get those kills. They're very long fights. They're a little messy, but when all things considered, back and forth, the lack of a cannon other than Believe here from Energy and Abstract Wolf targeting him down kind of evens out the playing field enough, because Heartache is sustaining quite a long time. He's not really returning a lot of damage, and that's just cruel for you.
He's got the Sorrow Blade, Breaking Point, probably your next item from Hardex, so will output a little bit more in fights, but you're right. And you know, even Atlas comes into play here, then that's going to be
that's absolutely
Hardex shut down, right?
Yeah.
You know,
next item purchases has to be double Atlas.
Right, and not only for Hardex, but also for this, you know, CP Adagio. You know, Adagio, sure, the burn does a lot of damage, but the amount of auto tech you land on it is just going to add up to that.
I would expect Believe to go into the Metal Jacket. I would expect Chombo and Hardic to pick up the Atlases. And there's Chombo's. I would expect Hardic to get his next. Do they have the gold for it right here? No, he's going into Breaking Point. He's wanting to actually shore up that damage gap.
Yep, no, and that's it. That's what I expect from Hardic. You know, we see Rock Bomber finish off the Atlas for himself, and that's 100% necessary coming into this next fight, I think, for these best Asian girls here, anime girls even, sorry. You know, I'm not wrong, but gonna be Rock Bomber jumping on in, but not quite finding the lead. Run 2 goes in. Burst of Judgment gonna be cancelled on out there. Grumpjaw in the belly of a whale, as that's going to split them all up. But Belief gets the range, and now they're stacking on up. Here comes the target once more back in, trying to find the kill. Mortal Wounds does enough, but the heals come through for Belief. And that will be the best anime girls backing off here. Rock Bomber going to drop his Breaking Point stacks, but could just dive back in. Everyone's got their cooldowns, and Hardic going to be the target. Building up the weakness stacks, but Believe the main target as he dives on in, on towards, looking for the kill, and that will be him falling to Naruto there. Now it's going to be him diving further. Like, Hardic doesn't look like he's going to die here, so the best anime girl is going to have a trouble.
That's up again.
But you know, putting Chombo by himself will mean he is singled out. Great stuff. Abstract Wolf just, you know, removing them from the fight here. That's just going to be Hardic against 3. He's probably going to fall in just a second. Ace comes through for the best Asian girls, and whew. Wow,
Okay.
these long-range engaged fights, they're just working out perfectly for them.
Alright, so we've discovered why we went into the contraption. Not only is it vision control, 40% cooldown reduction, Abstract Wolf immediately after that fight into a Halcyon Chargers. Let's add another 15% on top of that. He has, you know, still that found. He has the Protector Contract and the Crucible. They're long fights. They are absolutely long fights, but the best anime girls are actually making this work for them, and that has to be super frustrating for them.
Yeah, no, I 100% with you. 100% see. Cooldown reduction is the most efficient item, I think, in the capital position for it. That's going to be a missed ultimate stuff, not quite connecting. Corner walls go down. Abstract Wolf is stuck at the moment, going to get stunned up, taken on down. Kraken may not be anywhere near as effective for the best anime girls.
Okay, so Kraken, all right, one turret. Yeah, it should still be one turret. Yeah, but now they're also just going to go clean up that jungle right there. So again, like Hardik trying to shore up the gap on top of his damage, going into these damage items, still not having that tier 3 armor. I still think is a big problem for him, especially with Rock Bomber getting off so much damage. But if it's not Rock Bomber just taking people down, it's Naruto. Like, it's 6-2 for the Rona, but Naruto's burst has absolutely been just rinse repeat on point, bringing these guys down low, getting Rock Bomber those kills. And that has just been very frustrating, I feel, to play up against. Like, Believe has this heal. We got the captains here as well. Hardik, of course, has his own self-heal. And that's why these fights are taking longer and longer and longer. But Energy just almost getting target fired down. As soon as Abstract Wolf goes to eat somebody, put them in with the hangry, it's Naruto and Rock Bomber just kind of eliminating somebody, and you rinse repeat that a few times, and now you have these huge staggered death timers that afford you a lot of freedom here on the fold.
No, in draft I said that I didn't feel like the best anime girls had really considered their composition, but
you did say that.
I'm ready to eat my words. You know, they've really considered it. They all survive for massive times, and the cooldown reduction on the Grumjaw means that they can move pre-targets find. It's Belief that they want to go for, but actually going to eat up Hardik here and just try and burst on to Belief, put Hardik completely away from the fight. That's all Abstract Wolf is doing, removing them, creating space. Gauntlet walls go down, but it doesn't matter. Belief is dead, and now Hardik the main target here. Wow, this is very impressive stuff from the anime girls. They're gonna find the ace very shortly, I believe. Maybe not even need it. Chombo, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, as they take that one down at this 20-minute mark. The ace comes through, and this is some very impressive Grumjaw play coming out of Abstract Wolf.
The anime girls are just so kawaii right now, man. They are they are doing work. And these cooldowns on top of Abstract Wolf, right? He gets in, he's able to hangry somebody, and then he's out. But like by the time they killed off Believe, like he had what, 15 seconds left. He could have easily done it again if they had survived. If Energy had survived that fight, Hangry just would have been up. They just split the team, rinse, repeat. I can't say anything about Chombo's gauntlet in that last fight simply because it just did not do anything. Like everybody was well and clear from it by then. But rinse, repeat, get the kills, split the team. That worked out far better than I think we gave it credit for.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think when Grumjaw was released, everyone was kind of thinking about, oh, you swallow the carry, you put him into the fight, right? Bring him right and into the middle of your team so that you can burst him down. And not many people were talking about Grumjaw's ability to remove someone from a fight and take them away, like completely away, like, you know, push them as far away from the fight as possible. So I think this is very creative play coming out of the best anime girls. They go up 1-0 in this series, Dragonborn. Unexpected for sure.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, this composition you guys were talking about is a surprise. I mean, nobody could say, oh yeah, I mean, there may be a few people, but very few people could say they've seen this work successfully in the past. It's definitely a big deal here in the challengers. I don't know if it's a surprise comp that only works when you surprise the enemy team, but you guys alluded to it exactly right. Cruel is, you know, especially with the breaking point, Cruel is just looking to build those stacks. So if you take him out of the fight, even if he comes into the fight before you've gotten a kill, he's weak. He has not, you know, and at that point they were able to usually take out Believe before Hardik was able to build enough stacks. Once Believe was out, it was a fight going over to the best anime girls, and yeah, they played this very well. They must really have practiced this comp. I can't imagine that they just winged it with a comp like this, with the strategy and how, you know, very decisive. Every time they executed it, they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and it didn't work at first as successfully, and slowly it started to work more and more and more. And I hope we don't see Grumjaw triple melee comps spamming everywhere as a result of this game, but I will say that this is exciting to see teams, even at this level, innovate.
That was a Fortress Lyra ban coming forward for course. So first pick Adagio, very much expected from Energy. But now, I guess the question is Grumjaw going to be prioritized in this draft in any which way?
That's a great question.
I think it was just a weakness of the comp from energy. Like that crow at the end of it, just I'm not entirely too sure. Like, felt like you had to really go early up against the Grumpjaw, right? And we just didn't have a comp from energy to do that. Like it was a very low damage output comp.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting things to look at because I think maybe the take was from maybe NRG's perspective that what is this comp? This is a troll comp. We got this. This is not a big deal. And then maybe they were surprised as well. Like, oh crap, this actually works. We should have taken this more seriously. We don't know. This is maybe something that they've started to see in scrims. We are going to jump down into the game and get started as the drafts are starting to come out. The bans are starting to come out. So I will kick it over to you, Forkport. But I think you're going to expect to see NRG taking this a little bit more seriously starting right now.
Wow.
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. No Grumpjaw, no thanks. But Dowsy, just remind me quick here. We had the Lyra ban last round. Was it Lyra Fortress?
Lyra Fortress, or Fortress Lyra. Yeah.
Right, yeah, Fortress Lyra. This time it's going to be Lyra and the Grumpjaw. Could see the Fortress, could see the Adagio. You can see the anime girls just really thinking on this one, but Adagio is a pretty solid way to go.
I'm very surprised Energy have opted into banning this Grumpjaw. I think it definitely worked perfectly. Don't get me wrong. I think the best anime girls played a mean Grumpjaw. Abstract was all over it, but is it something that you can draft around? Is it something you can just counter by maybe putting a lot more threat onto your team? I think the answers to those questions could be yes. But yeah, a straight out ban. A lot of respect shown to Abstract Wolf's play. Now, this Adagio comes forward. I'm going to see a Rona come on to Chombo. Energy are stealing comps here. Or stealing heroes at least. Perhaps they're wanting to try and test the best anime girls' hero pools.
Well, this would be the time to do it if you could, man. If you could.
Not when you're one down in a series. Like, you have to be sure that you can win this next game, or else you're relegated to the losers bracket.
Right, but if energy goes down into the lower bracket, like I can't imagine that they would lose down there. But at the same time, a lot of people came into this one saying, "Oh, don't worry, they got this. They're gonna breeze right through the winners." But I just think, like, if you sit down and analyze that game, we've taken away the Grumpjaw, the Rona has now been taken, and what could energy finish up with this one? This is a completely different comp from the anime girls.
I so wanted to see a Fortress there from the best anime girls. I think that would have been perfect. Put the Adagio in the captains, CP Fortress in the jungle, and Idris in lane. I'm a huge fan of Idris. I one-tricked Idris all the way to Vainglorious. He's my main man. So super excited to see what Rock Bomber can do. Clearly favoring the melee laners here. Pedal the last pickup for Energy. What are you thinking?
Pedal from Heartache. Like, we saw Fuji play the pedal a little bit earlier on. That thing was just straight up ridiculous. Like, he actually went ridiculous in the game. Heartache, I feel like, could do the same, but Heartache up against Taka, like early on, especially if Pedal gets the jump on top of Taka's, if you have a little bit of level advantage, a little bit of crystal in your pocket, right? That could go a long way. I'd also expect to see something, well, maybe not an early contraption, but lots of flares, lots of scout traps, perhaps even a flare gun to come out here from Chombo. But Naruto just did a really good set of Taka. He's getting a Taka again. Rock Bomber, as you say, with the melee. It's going to be the same roles, though. It's going to be that melee weapon laner. It's going to be Naruto here, probably on that crystal. He has a weapon blade for now, but I highly suspect it'll be that crystal utility, rinse, repeat. And Heartache is going to get into these crystals. So I want to see energy be aggressive. I want to see them kind of get an early lead. I want to see them look for these invades and just kind of put these guys behind the 8-ball, because if they don't get some kind of early game break, who knows how far Rock Bomber could go with his Idris.
Awesome. So let's see what they can do. And I've got huge hopes for Rock Bomber's Idris as well. Well,
you're an Idris main.
But I think when Idris came out, everyone said he was weak. But as time came on, I've seen more and more pro players start picking him up and bring him in. Even in patch 2.2, where people were saying he's probably one of the weakest heroes that could have came out of recent. And actually, well, nope. Here we go. So let's see where we do go. Rock Bomber's ability to poke in lane is huge. If he can dodge, roll away from Chombo's Impales or just sidestep them, then this lane is going to go heavily in favor of the best anime girls. Rock Bomber throws out the chakrams, puts Belief in a issue, bit of a troubled position. Abstract Wolf continuously lays down the harass with his auto attack, but here comes a good gank. Abstract Wolf locked down, and that will be first blood going through to Energy. All comes down to Chombo's ability to land the Impales, and if he continues doing that, then that will keep Energy above water.
So this is sort of what I mean by that early game, right? You have a nice comp for catch. Idris, other than just a little bit of a step, he's not really going to have a ton early on to get out of dodge. He's not going to have that level 6 for a while. Abstract Wolf, same idea. Naruto, like, unless you really want to go hunting for the Taka, just kind of let him do whatever he wants. If you can really shut down the lane, though, and use this comp early on, I really do feel like Energy will have that momentum to carry through for a game 3.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. Energy, a roster that should have at least some experience as far as the mentality is concerned as well. So we're going to see another route come through, but Chombo just takes so much damage from the chakram that flies out just before it lands, and this is the issue of Idris. The Shroud Step, you build up that white bar underneath your stamina. It gives you a shield when you use your Shroud Step, so you can roll in, you get a empowered auto attack, and then you don't take as much damage. Another good impale comes forward, though. Abstract Wolf will be in trouble as he uses the boost to escape. Rock Bomber just going to lay down some harass, but he's low now. Rock Bomber, he could go back here, or he could allow Believe to push the wave in and get all of the stain from a Book of Eulogies plus the contract that Abstract... Oh no, Abstract's gone Protector.
Yeah, that's a Protector. That's not an Iron Guard. That's actually 2 games in a row with the Protector coming out from Abstract Wolf.
I believe in trouble here. Burning away, Naruto doesn't quite find the damage onto Belief. In fact, Chombo takes a bit of damage, and once more, Rock Bomber's back up to 100%.
Yeah, that's the fun thing with having a healer in your pocket plus a book. Yeah, and well, I mean, Believe is not quite in the same book because he doesn't have that heal, but look at just, again, this aggression. Energy is, if they can just land these impales, there's such gap close available to them.
Yeah, 100%. But it's all on Chombo to land them. If they don't land them, then Rock Bomber, especially once his diversion paths are unlocked, at Sorrow Blade level weapon power, that's going
like
to
a minute and a half.
Right. That's going to be the Shroud Step upgraded to a blink, instantaneous. Get map gap closing, which is a bit of an issue for him. So. That allows Rock Bomber to be a lot more aggressive. Not only that, Rock Bombers can utilize into a Poison Shiv first, second item more likely, and that's going to shut down the sustain that Belief will have by building a 7th Mask first item. So, this is another aspect of interest that's super strong, but Rock Bomber's going down the 7th Mask himself, so that's something a little bit different.
1 kill on the board here in about 4.5 minutes in. Rock Bomber actually not looking for a Sorrow, so that is going to delay his divergent paths just a little bit. He has gone instead into the Serpent's Mask, so guess I should have seen that one coming forward. But Heartache looking for an invade gets caught.
Yep, certainly does. Not going to be his life taken just yet. Energy in a position where they can go in here, look for a kill. Just need to choose a target and seem a little bit indecisive. Chombo, not what the team says, I can catch him. Doesn't in the end, so they don't find anything better to full-ass the job instead of half-ass 2. That is going to be Energy. Not finding anything just yet, but they are going to put pressure down onto this turret. It does land onto Abstract Wolf. Rock Bomber knocked against the wall as well. That's the best anime girls taking a lot of harassment under this turret. Finding money back, but here's an engage. Oh wow, Chakram right through and mortal wounds as well. That's just Believe being eaten on up. So, a nice little response.
Winky face to go out there.
Right. Idris's taunt is the worst taunt, by the way. He literally says, "And now I taunt," and doesn't really do anything cool. He kind of waves his sword around.
But he's Special Forces. I would have expected some kind of show. Who knows? So, can Rock Bomber unlock divergent paths with just a Serpent's Mask and a Breaking Point? Is that enough?
Heavy Steel coming in, perhaps.
So it doesn't even need into the Breaking Point then.
So 2 Heavy Steels and a 6 in is enough to unlock a divergent path.
Okay, well, keep an eye on it there. Just kind of waiting to see when that actually does trigger. At the same time, Hardic, first item, finally comes through. A little bit later than I think he really wanted, but he has that Frostburn ready to go. Naruto, though, coming back in. Doesn't quite have that Aftershock, but that's going to be not too far down the line here.
Not only that, forces into the fray defensively, which is just an ability that you really don't want to be using defensively, and so putting energy on the back foot, it means that Believe it struggles to participate to the fight. There it is, comes in, the heavy steel completed. That's conversion paths unlocked now for the Idris, so expect to see some flashy plays hopefully by Rock Bomber in the future.
Alright, so we keep an eye on top of Rock there, but again, it's only one kill between the teams. It's very much a similar kind of pacing as we had last round. It's very slow, measured fighting going back and forth, no real big flashy plays, but now some turret damage to be happening here. So Chambo's going to come back up, Believe is here. When it comes to the last hits in lane, we're pretty much dead even. Believe and Rock Bomber really just going head to head. Despite all these ganks coming back and forth, it hasn't really been a big difference in gold accrued either. So both these teams really kind of just at maximum efficiency on both sides.
Yep, certainly are. You know, and this is where things get really hard for Chombo, because actually catching Rock Bomber in an Impale becomes very, very difficult now that has the Divergent Path locked, the Shroud Step becomes linked. So expect him to probably prioritize it towards Abstract Wolf, unless, you know, he lands a Giffian's Wall, then follows it up with an Impale.
Just gonna have to be some really quick reflexes to keep Rock Bomber going. Lots of flares just picked up right then and there. But we also have that breaking point now online. So Rock Bomber, double item, still looking for it here from Naruto. Actually goes, there it is. All right, picks up, just has enough gold to get that. And it's, well, probably Abstract Wolf going into a contraption once more.
Yes, yeah, no, and I talked to Cloud9's analyst physics about this, you know, a Vainglorious Romaine, and her opinions is that cooldown reduction is actually really strong on almost every captain that you can play, and the most efficient way is going to be that contraption. So if you are in a position where you don't necessarily need anything else, then a contraption isn't a bad buy. So I guess right now for Abstract Wolf, currently feeling like they're pretty good. They've got themselves a fountain. Perhaps they don't necessarily need to go anywhere else, but you know, maybe a Crucible could be useful. I don't really see it. Perhaps an Atlas on Belief could be useful as well, but can certainly see where the cooldown reduction to just apply heals all the time is a good thing.
I might have said, you know, different in the last game than I did. I really didn't think that Abstract Wolf picked up that contraption was going to be worth. But then, of course, you know, they win the game, so nuts to that. But this round, I do say that, you know, there's not really a big thing for Crucible at this point. Like, Teabag at this point don't really have anything that they have to worry about other than maybe their own personal reflex blocks. But we're not even getting that, because like, what do you got? Chamba with the Impale, the Giffian, perhaps. Believe, not really anything there. And Hardic's just going to blow up his minions on top of you anyways. And that's going to be a consistent slow from the Frostburn. So maybe get those reflexes just for that little bit of extra health. But until then, you know, a lot of damage can just be built up at this point. So I do agree with that mentality this round. I didn't last time, but it didn't matter because they won anyways. So we'll have to see how it all plays out by the end of it. One thing that you will see with the contraptions, though, is just phenomenal amounts of scout traps.
Right, and Abstract Wolf in the previous game just set up so much vision. Is a little bit caught out here, but, you know, is he healing himself? You know, this is the thing about Abstract Wolf, you know, it actually impressed me just watching some of his micro movements as a roamer. You know, he's catching waves, but not only that, he's setting up last hits under the turret. Something that you don't often see from a roamer is actually the ability to know when to set up a last hit for your laner, when to auto attack the creep so that the next auto attack from your laner will be a kill instead of the turret shot eating it up, because the laner can out damage the turret. So, you know, there's stuff like that, but in the previous game, incredible vision control coming out of the best anime girl. So if they can keep those kind of things up, then that's really great. But here comes an engage from Energy, looking for the kills. And the best anime girls, they disengage. They don't want these fights just yet, waiting for a power spike of some sort, or perhaps a fight on their own terms.
Nobody really has a crowd control. Like, if the Abstract Wolf can get off some fire and then into a Versa Judgment, you got some good stuns, but past that, it's just a lot of soft crowd control out there. You know, slows and things like that. A stun into the wall, it's not a long stun. It's enough to stop a channel, it's enough to get you up against the wall, but look at Rock Bomber, man. Like, he has no fear here.
Yeah, well, he's got his ultimate to just dodge away, and that's exactly what we see. Is an Impale coming through it, but there's a Shroud Step, there's the Fountain, and that is going to be these guys just walking away from this one, Forecourt.
There's just nothing to stop these guys right now, but it's on both sides, right? There's very little hard crowd control to capitalize on from both sides, so it's going to come down a little bit to kiting and Energy looking to return the favor here, but I'm just not seeing the same kind of presence.
This turret dive coming through. It's really going to find too much damage. Rock Bomber actually going aggressive here. Shroud stepping in, and that's going to be Naruto going in. Can't find anything though for themselves. The best anime girls just going to be Hope Chombo, who goes rooting in, loses his life though perhaps for this. Let's see if they can turn the damage on Energy, trying to find a kill, but it's not coming forward. They all disengage away from the burst. The best anime girls, they're just sustaining through this fight. The help of Abstract Wolf plus, you know, that service basket, I guess, there for the Rock Bomber seems to be working trumps for them. And we're going to see, you know, steals away of jungle camps, Goldmine is taken. There's not much in this game right now, Forecourt, because none of these teams are really hard committing to action. Perhaps this is something that I think the best anime girls could potentially do a little bit better, and probably will have to improve as they progress through the Challenger series. But actually, you know, they are still maintaining a positive net lead, so in this game specifically, it's not necessarily meaning too much.
Naruto is, well, not exactly looking for an Atlas. It almost looks like he's going to be looking into that Broken Myth sooner rather than later. Rock has now finished into the Aegis. Looks like he himself looking for armor on top of it. And Abstract Wolf did pick up a Crucible on top of things. So if you thought it was hard to kill them before, it's a little bit harder to kill them now. But on the flip side, Jumbo has his own he has his own vision control now up against Naruto. He's going to be able to put down a lot of traps, a lot of those flares. We have second offensive item here from Hardik as well. 2 offensive items in 13 minutes, typically not the sign of a good game, but it's just kind of more the same on both sides, as they have been going neck and neck. There's not big advantages going down either side. There's one extra turret, which is majority of the difference here between the teams, as you know, the anime girls have maintained that lead, but you know, that gold mine is still sitting there. It's 14 minutes in. We're looking at a Kraken and only 2 kills between these teams in that time.
Yeah, 100%. It's not much in it, you know, apart from what seems to be kind of tempo being set by the best anime girls. That's about it, and that's kind of subjective. You could say that Energy are feeling fairly comfortable in their position in this game. You see Chombo though, he's gone down the contraption route to try and answer, I guess, a bit with the vision game that Abstract Wolf is playing, which I think is fairly respectable, you know, making sure that you're countering vision with vision, your own scout traps and clearing it out as you go. It's going to be Rock Bomber engaged onto, but once more, short step away from the Impale. Naruto picks up a Crystal Infusion. This hacker is having a bit of a hard time trying to find entry routes into team fights, but is going to just make its way down the lane. That's Kraken coming online. Energy looking for this turret here. Rock Bomber goes aggressive. Wasn't able to find a kill. This is a chance for them to aggress on. There it is. The Impale, lots of damage for Rock Bomber, but he can just go jump into someone, and that's exactly what he does. Avoids the damage, heals on up, Versa Judgment, and it will go out, blocked out by Chombo, but Rock Bomber's going in, sustaining with the Serpent's Mask, and the kill goes Naruto's way, looking for a second as Hardik's in a bit of trouble. It's the most action we've seen, and it's currently the best anime girls winning the fight. Alive. Diving forward, will find the kill. Can he find more? He's sustaining through this amazingly. Goes on to Abstract Wolf. He's got the shielding. He's got the red mist. He's seeing red. But can he believe enough? No. He gets shut down. The ace comes forward. And the best anime girls win the fight.
5 deaths. But we do got the ace for the anime girls, and Abstract Wolf might not actually be able to do the most damage by himself, but with this little army of crazed minions, yeah, that's going to be that turret. At least hurts. Can't imagine it's gonna live. No, that's a lot of damage. Come on, Abstract Wolf, you got this. This is only Chombo. Okay, now you might want to run.
Yeah, no, you don't want to give up a fight here. A kill even. It would be a huge mistake for Abstract Wolf to go down. Currently, the Frostburn doing so much work does actually look like Abstract Wolf will go down. This is not an ideal scenario, but maybe they can turn it around with a kill. Rock Bomber going to go in. Look at the Chakrams just bouncing back and forth. Hardic in trouble, but is blowing up. Rock Bomber is not able to find the kill just yet. He has to disengage. Hasn't lost his life though just yet. And here comes Naruto, gonna find it. Believe now the Mortal Wound's going on top of him in a second. Will just cut down his healing considerably. There it is. Now he has to disengage. You can see it into the fray straight out as Chombo tries to find the space. Give the time. Believe turning. Red Mist turning. Can he find the kill? No. Rock Bomber does go down. Chombo trying to find this Taka healing in his little chicken box. Not quite a chicken box, but you know, stealth box. Good
nice
dodge
avoid on the
of
Giphian.
Giphian wall, yeah, and he's gonna go in, find the ace for himself. Another kill, another objective as well as Naruto just about takes down the turret. Wow, the best anime girls starting to gain a bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, little by little, but it's so hard fought between these guys. Like, Believe is so, well, dastardly to kill at this point. Like, he just does not drop. Hardic and that Frostburn, like, if they can find that catch, absolutely they're going to get that kill because there's just so much distance between you know, these bastions of safety here on the left and the pushing power of the anime girls. But back and forth, we went from 1-1 to 7-5 in the space of 2 team fights here. But that's 2 turrets now down for energy at this point. Kraken is now a very, very big objective for both these teams.
Absolutely, and it's going to be that vision game once more that both these roamers are trying to fight over with their contraptions. A war started by Abstract Wolf that Chombo is trying to end. You know,
Green on one side, red on the other. There of the Kraken.
Yeah, the wall of scout traps. Ino.
Lots of infusions out here, Dowsy, as well.
Poison Shiv finished for Rock Bomber. That's huge. I want to see it come out as well for Believe. So the match
Verona, yeah.
It's going to be the double sustain. And yeah, Naruto just completely caught out. Taunting of all things as well. That's not the place for BM. That's going to be Abstract Wolf under the turret, just falling down. Chombo just currently distracting Rock Bomber. And Abstract Wolf healing, but dead. As he goes down to this Rona from Believe. Gaspy for those who manage it. Believe may lose his life. One more Chakram toss could do the trick, but no, Rock Bomber can't escape. Is going to fall an ace for energy, all through some cocky plays is the only way I can say it from the best anime girls.
Yeah, Naruto really dropping fast in the beginning of that fight, and basically it was a no factor. It made the game into a 2v3 very easily, and this is not the point where you want that to happen. 19 minutes in, you got some pretty substantial death timers, but the bigger thing is that this Kraken is going to start just wrecking your structures. Like, we have 4 turrets left here for the anime girls, 3 left for energy. If either side pick up this Kraken, you're guaranteed at least 1, but if you can make it worth to 2, you're putting yourself into an endgame position where you could actually end the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at this 20-minute mark, you kind of expect a teamfight win to kind of spell the end for these guys. You know, for Teabag, it is currently just them trying to defend. They're already one up in this series. Energy, they're wanting to come back into it. This first turret is going low, but here comes the engage coming out, and Teabag first judgment blocked by Chombo. He engages, lands onto Rock Bomber. The damage, Naruto just trying to lay it down, and energy, they're slowly going down, but there it is, the turn, Believe going in, finding the damage. Can he find any more is the question, as that's going to be Rock Bomber taken on down low by Hardic and taken on out as well. Can they get the A's onto Abstract Wolf? Yes, they can, as Chombo impales for the final blow. And we've got a series on our hand for Court. This is going to game 3.
Oh, that took so long to come to a head, though. It's very slow, steady kind of wins. Anime Girls really, I think, getting a lot of fans out of this, but that one fight, right? We talked about this. Knife's Edge, one bad execution, one bad gank, one bad death and you either find yourself snowballing the game so incredibly hard, or you've just given up a substantial lead. And that's what happened here. Like, the Naruto going down at the Kraken, and then they're not able to defend in the subsequent team fight with the Kraken pushing in. It's just over. So Energy will defend title. That's going to be 1-1, but wow. This is, I think this is a lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be.
Hey, yeah, guys, just coming off the heels of that, I gotta say, I thought that NRG had this. They picked a Petal last pick into a Taka. I felt like even though the Idris was going to scale really well, and I thought there was a lot of damage, and I really, they had a healer, right? That was, definitely something that goes on their side. I felt like Hardek should have been able to give that Taka a much harder time. That was best anime girls really dealing and managing energy so well. They made, like you guys said, one massive mistake, almost basically a throw, where they got out of position. The Taka went way too far forward without the rest of his team in that fight, and then Energy, once they got a single little bit of leverage, were able to completely catapult it. They had the composition to do that. I'm actually surprised. I'm really surprised it took them that long to get a handle of this game.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan at all of Rock Bomber's build path for Idris. I play Idris at a high level, and I've experimented with builds, and I've never found success with this build that Rock Bomber went down. Personally, I would have liked to have seen a Sorrow Blade into a Poison Shiv, into either a Breaking Point alternated trigger, depending on if you want to go 4 damage items or 3. That would have just shut down Rona straight off the bat. In the fights, the mortal wounds would have been applied to Believe. He would have struggled to heal up. It would have made him a non-factor. It allows you to focus onto Hardek a little bit easier because Believe is on the defensive. I felt like that Poison Shiv, it came out, but it was too late. Believe had his own, and all the sustain that Rock Bomber was getting was being cut down because of it. Just not a fan of the build paths. Perhaps that could have changed the tides. I think more than anything was the indecisiveness of both teams, and something that's going to have to be changed up in this third match.
Absolutely agree. I think that in a way, the best anime girls kind of, with their draft, kind of got themselves stuck in that position where they were playing very passively. They had to. They really, if you look at the composition and the build paths from NRG, I would say far superior. They almost lost this game if it wasn't for an overextension and a misplay by the best anime girls. At least that was the first chance they had to take it over, right? The first mistake they made, they took advantage of. And that really, I think, is the difference between a lot of these teams that are just getting into the competitive scene and have been in it for a long time. The experience of knowing when you've gotten the upper hand, when you officially have the advantage, and then blowing that up, really is what sets, I think, the experience of someone like Hardek much more above some of the other players who are maybe getting into the competitive scene for the first time. Yeah, game number 3, guys. We're going to try to get into it right away, but man, this one is shaping up to be much closer than any of us anticipated.
And we're getting confirmation that
Lag.
Who did experience some connection issues. In these leagues, it's always the player's responsibility to ensure their connection is good, to secure their connection. So it's very unfortunate. That last fight, it did kind of look like he was taunting with the pauses, but actually, it was connection issues he's claiming. So very unfortunate there for the best anime girls to lose a very crucial fight due to outside connection issues. But at the same time, this is kind of just how the way things work. The cookie crumbles sometimes. Thank God they're both in the winners bracket, and the loser of this match does get a second chance.
Naruto is taking a quick moment. He's getting that Wi-Fi password from the ramen shop there in the Hidden Leaf Village. But once he gets back in, hopefully a game 3 will be spicy. And it's really hard to call this one. Like, if that one spot have been the difference there, right? What could have been the difference? What's going to happen here in game 3? What kind of drafts will we see? Because that first game series of Grumpjaw was absolutely head turning, and then the second game series of just like this very defensive play, like the outplays for a good majority of that matchup. Like, what else could Energy do here?
You know, I mean, I think they drafted well. I think they built well. You had this Adagio. They built that Poison Shiv to counter it. It did. I think the Rona was really hard to take down. We saw how well. I mean, they had tankiness. Really impressed overall with just how they played, the composition they chose. And at the end, when they finally got the leg up, they seized the day, right? They seized it right away and they took it. So Energy, you know, they really caught a big break there because it was looking pretty dire. We're going to get actually into this next game right away, so we don't want to hold it off any longer for you guys. So let's get right into it. But yeah, I think it really comes down to just the decisiveness from Energy needs to improve.
Oh, well, for both teams, you know, like I guess we're talking about Energy here because they're the seed one, this highest seeded team, you know, seed 12 versus seed 21. But yeah, you're right. Both teams, they need to improve their ability to execute.
Don't mind me, just gonna derail your train of thought.
Go for it.
Well, I was really hoping for that Grumpjaw, but Koshka! Okay, there it is.
Oh, there
Koshka Grumpjaw. The Grumpchka.
Wow, yeah, the Grumpjaw coming forward. Adagio picked up here. It's a very early Koshka into the draft. It does allow, I guess, for Energy to adapt, perhaps pick up a Gwen instead of, you know, a Vox, a Ringo, whatever they may want. Currently, we've been playing these weapon power, it's like, Believe is going to continue the trend unless we throw that Adagio up into the lane, which would make sense. So that's probably likely where it's going.
I don't know. I think you could actually throw that either way on the side of Energy, but we do need a laner here from the best anime girls, and with a Koshka already, like a melee laner, Naruto's not here. Okay, so we're gonna have to see what that last pick's gonna be. But with a Koshka and a Grumpjaw, if we're gonna continue that trend of a melee weapon laner, or even just any kind of melee laner up in lane, that's a triple melee comp.
Yeah. I wonder if you pick up a ranged hero now that you know you're up against a triple melee. You know, perhaps pick up a Vox, as everyone's going to be wanting to jump forward. I think there's some good options available here to the best anime girls, and I'm looking forward to see what they draft.
All right, so here comes the Grumpchka, ready to roll. Picks are going out lightning fast. No Taka, no Lyra, so only one healer going to be here this round. That's with Believe. Hardek was into that Rona, no problem. Last pick for Naruto. It's going to be a Black Feather, so it is going to be triple melee to jump into this one. And I'm not super confident on that, but I wasn't also super confident on game one there, Dowsy, because again, Believe, who's going to be this Adagio, like that's what they did game one, but Believe in Chombo, right? That's a lot of kind of distance to chew through. Like, you're not only going to have the Githian walls, but triple melee jumping in, that's going to have to be the Versa Judgment, but Grumpjaw, as we found out, has really good ways to break up that kind of synergy.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. Just having a quick look through Rock Bombers, Black Feather history, just trying to get some eyes on some builds here. Pretty much going to be the same story here, I believe. You know, build a Serpent's Mask into Breaking Point, into Poison Shiv. Makes sense, I guess, against the Rona. Hardek here. I wonder if he'll prioritize Poison Shiv a little bit earlier, considering the Adagio is against them rather than with them, so there's, you know, more than just one source of healing. Perhaps it's more of a priority to get that Poison Shiv in. But this is it. This is the matchup. One of these teams can progress into the winner's bracket deeper. The other one falls into the loser's bracket. We're going to see Energy push up here, looking for an invade on their blue side.
And it's going to go pretty much uncontested. Like, it's Treant. They're now pushing forward. They're going to find Rock Bomber there.
Fire. Rock Bomber's taking huge chunks of damage. Gets taken down. First blood over to Hardek on this Rona. Switching things up. You know, no Believe on it. Now they're going for more. Naratu's in the lane, clearing waves. Oh, an impale from Chombo. So well timed, but it seemed like no one else on his team believed that it was going to come forward because everyone had dismounted at that point. But hey, Chombo, you know, I saw you. I feel you. I get you.
And well, you know, first blood, almost a second, but still, pressure is on. Energy with that invade, making it happen. Now Hardek again looking for this invade. That's it's a real early game Koshka. Like, she's level 1. Probably not exactly going to be the kill machine that we're used to seeing, but Hardek here level 1 there as well. The Chombo is going to be coming down. Here comes the Wolf as well.
Yep, here comes Wolf over. Actually secures the tree end for the team, which means that gold will be going over ambiently to Naratu as well. This is a fairly strong start from Energy, just flexing their muscles a little bit, but they got to keep it up. You know, this is their game to lose in theory. You know, just based on seeding, right? So they need to continue this pressure game. Cannot allow the game to come down to the wire. I think like it has done in previous matches this series.
Well, the big part is going to be Abstract Wolf picking up second items. So, you know, 4 or 5 minutes rolls around, he picks up that fountain. 8, 9 minutes rolls around, that's when he gets the contraption. That's what history says. It's very likely not going to change here, because even though there is, you know, that Lance, that Rona, and the Adagio, the big thing being the Adagio verse, like trying to beg a Crucible. Very likely, again, Abstract Wolf going to go for the cooldown reduction, simply because then he can just use his abilities and basically spam him out whenever he wants. Like, the cooldown on his ult with just that contraption was, I think, 36 seconds or something silly.
Yeah, it's very silly. Can't see a world where he doesn't go it again, right? Which means that Chombo may be forced to go down a route like that as well. There's a bit more priority on a Atlas, on a Crucible once more, so that you can try and block out some of the AoE, especially on a carrier Adagio. I feel like the Burst of Judgment will be even more of a threat than previously, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be fountained into Contraption.
All right, so that's kind of like the big ticking time bomb at this point. Like, once we get into that situation, then hopefully the rest of the comp for the anime girls are going to be, you know, online. Like Rock Bomber, very likely going to be 1 to 2 items. Well, very likely 2 items plus a defensive by then. Naruto going to be going into that Aftershock. Doesn't really look like Naruto is really interested in a Storm Crown, at least not yet. He has prioritized the bits for the Aftershock first. So again, that's where the dive comp will start coming online. So what can we do until then? Well, Energy, if they do continue with this aggression in the jungle, which I think they should, they need to try to delay that as much as possible. Get their own build online, get some items into Hardek, get some items into Believe, because 2 to 3 item Adagio, especially like 12, 13 minutes in, that stuff just wrecks face.
Yeah, certainly does. I kind of like what Energy have done here. It's kind of what I was saying in the second game's draft is, you know, don't ban Grumpjaw, just play into Grumpjaw better. You know, they've picked ways to stun Abstract Wolf down. You know, Giffian's War or an Impale will release whoever Grumpjaw swallows up.
So
Currently a dive, Naratu just about gets out, but yeah, this seems like a little bit more coordinated from the best anime girls, just because from Energy, because, you know, they've got better tools with dealing for Abstract Wolf, even if he does go down this cooldown route to make the hangries, the stuffs, you know, come up so much quicker. It may not be as effective against the Lance.
Alright, so first item there from Believe. He's now actually back in the jungle here with Hardek as well, just looking to see if they can pump up to that level 6, get that ambient gold flowing, no problem. First items across the board for the anime girls is Abstract Wolf has the Fountain, Rock Bomber into the Serpents, and the Naruto, of course, is finished up with that Aftershock. So some good power spikes on both sides. Still kind of waiting for Hardek to figure out his first tier 3, but again, a lot of tier 2 across, and he's actually prioritized a reflex here early as well.
Yeah, no, very peculiar, the reflex block coming out early. I guess it makes sense for Hardek, doesn't want to get locked down by a yummy catnip frenzy. Perhaps wants to try and block the Grumpjaw ultimate, assuming it's going to go towards him like it did in the previous game of this series. It's a very hard ultimate to block. Stuff you have to kind of block it as that animation appears, the kind of lines you see when the stuff goes, that's when you need to block, not when it hits you. Nope. It's as soon as the ultimate gets kind of channeled into animation, or else you miss it. And it's you know, a lot of pro players have said this is one of the hardest abilities to block. So Hardic's going to have to be on point if that's the case. Otherwise, I guess there is the threat of the Yummy Captain Frenzy as well.
Yeah, I would definitely go a little bit more of a shortcut and just say, yeah, let's not get stunned, because then you just make yourself a really big target. So double reflex as Hardic has actually gone a step further. Aegis first, no lifesteal, actually nothing, no Serpent's Mask for him perhaps.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't finish one off. But maybe defense is what Energy are prioritizing here against this roster, because that's what is going to happen. Is the best anime girls are going to hard to get into a fight, and it's going to be sustained like it has been in game 1. So wow, Rock takes huge damage. This alternating current and the fire just burning away Ancient Wrath. Rock Bomber is going to be in trouble once more. Has to dodge away the Rose Offensive. There it is. There's the nom. Abstract will pulling them under. Believe though is going to look for the kill onto Rock Bomber. Yummy Captain Frenzy going to lock him down under. Looking at first blood onto Naratu, but it's going to be Believe falling. Rock Bomber dodges away from the Impale as well. The best anime girl away, but here comes Hardic trying to find Red. He has to dive out. Abstract going to charge on in, slow them down. Do the best anime girls chase? That on point misses. Perhaps that was the main. But here comes Naratu, able to get away from the Impale once more. Chombo falls, leaving just Hardic, and there's no way he walks out of this alive. He gets one, but one is not enough. A double kill comes away for Rock Bomber. A 3 for 2 in the end.
What you wouldn't have given right there to have Believe alive. My goodness, just the splits from the anime girls really keeping Energy dancing. And, well, I'm just going to say, they stayed way too long. Yeah, they got a kill, but a 3 for 1. They should have just taken their ball and gone home. Like, they were just so low, and Hardic was so bloodthirsty looking for that. Chombo, getting killed in the process there as well. There's Hardic's lifesteal coming through. Perhaps you got to wonder maybe if that could have been the difference, but... man, anime girls, they made a really good use of that situation. They taunted and they got the kills.
They certainly did. We're going to see Abstract Wolf get that flare. He's got himself already the cooldown. So going towards Contraption second item. Not changing things up whatsoever. Believe getting closer to that second item on the Adagio. Was definitely dishing out some good damage onto the Rock Bomber. It's forced a bit of shielding as well. Here it is.
Wolf
finished. Here we go. This is it. This is that Grumpjaw moment once more.
Yep. 9 minutes in. All right, let's take a quick state here. 9 minutes. That's 2 items on Abstract. 9 minutes. That's Rock Bomber sitting on his 2 here as well with the reflex, and Naruto just a little bit outside the range of a second offensive item, but a reflex there as well.
Rock Bomber in trouble, gets the Protector contract, gets the heal from the Fountain, but Abstract's going to chomp up Chombo, pull him under the turret here, try and burst him down. He rolls to safety, props out that reflex block, good Giphy and War at the end, allow Hardic to do a little bit of extra work. Naratu coming in though. What can Naruto do? It's going to be him just bounce back forth, Yummy Captain Frenzy blocked up. Hardic though in trouble as Naratu's going to get taken very low. Abstract will Believe just trying to land whatever he can as everyone on the best anime girls are so low, but Believe wants to go in. He's looking for an execute. Won't quite be able to find one onto Chombo though.
Once again, just fantastic movements out of, well, both teams in this regard, because nobody went down. Lots of people low, but no deaths. And the triple melee is...
Wow, Rock is so aggressive. Can he get anything from this? The burst from the burst. Yeah, he can. Use that reflex block as well perfectly just to block up the incoming damage from the Burst of Judgment. That is once more another kill. Now everyone in the lane. I love the map movements as they all dive in to try and execute. Hardic's here though. Can they find a kill? What's going to happen? Hardic gets eaten up. Abstract Wolf bringing him right on out, so there's no tower to deal with. Hardic in the middle of it all, sustaining up the Fountain to deal with it all. Rock Bomber going deep, looking for Chombo, looking for Hardic as he throws offensives over. Impale locks him down though under the turret, and Believe is coming back in. The best anime girls better be sure of themselves or get out now, because Believe will not be messing around.
Just, again, fantastic movements on both sides, and it's so much juggling going on. Like, I'm a jester, but these guys are just throwing out, such such really well-timed weaving in and out, finding aggro here and there. Believe, I think, is having a few trouble, a few little problems here, but that's not going to stop Abstract Wolf from hitting him.
Right, you know, the team was actually very reserved. They didn't actually go deep on to Believe. They could have attacked him so much earlier. Hardek's under the turret. Abstract Wolf's dealing with him. One more turret shot would have done the trick as Naruto tries to find Chombo. Hardek's not likely to escape Rock Bomber, but the dive from the wall will be well met by Abstract Wolf. Almost dodging and diving. He's red misted once more. He will get taken down very shortly by Rock Bomber. Just a single auto attack will find a kill. Do they trade in the end? No, they don't. That's Naruto just going back.
There's the pause.
We do get a pause coming forward in the end, just to allow for some of these lag or connection issues to surpass. But actually, after claiming that you lagged in the previous game, in the previous the Pinnacle team fight, to then hold back on Believe and not auto attack him whatsoever, until he was like taking turret shots and, you know, going to die anyway. That's a lot of restraint coming out of Best Anime Girls. A lot of sportsmanship shown there.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, there was a lot of sportsmanship, but then, like, as soon as he moved, he stopped moving, and then he was just kind of toast from there. And that ultimately led to Hardek going down by the end of it all. So we're just gonna let everything settle. Let them all reset here for a moment. But Dowsy, like, that was almost just a 2-minute straight team fight. Like, again, everybody is ducking, and weaving through a lot of this. They're transferring off aggro. Like, there's so much self-healing going on for a lot of these guys here as well. It's very hard to nail down some of these kills. And even, like, going under the turrets, like diving and Abstract Wolf, putting people back there as well. I don't even really particularly know who's going to win this one. But I would not be surprised to see both these teams again, like 3 weeks from now, into the top 8.
Perhaps, yeah. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you can clear this up, Dragonborn, with the losers bracket. If Best Anime Girls were to drop out here, for example, and then Energy were to drop out in the next round, would they face each other in the losers bracket very shortly, or would they like be on opposite sides?
No, yeah, actually they're in the same group, so as they get to the end, they would definitely get in the position of being able to face themselves. So, you know, it kind of depends on how, you know, it's obviously we are dealing with a connection issue right now, and the game seems pretty evenly matched, so anything can happen here. We are trying to sort that out, make sure the players have the best. We do use pauses very limitedly this season. Players are responsible for their connection, but, you know, when there is seems to be something happening, you know, we try to do what we can. They definitely will rematch if they both get dropped down to the loser and win all the games they need to win. They could make it all the way to that spot and play each other. That would be pretty impressive. But I'd have to be honest, guys, watching them play, the way they handle team fights, you know, I see more passiveness from NRG, and it really plays into Best Anime Girls' strengths right now. Is Believe, for instance, had boots and a reflex block and full health, and you had, you know, you were talking about, I think, 4 core. He could have gone in there and killed at least one, you know, easily. It would have been totally okay. They were so low. He didn't have to commit completely, just start poking them, and then boots out of there or use a reflex block to get away. Instead, you know, chooses just to farm, and that aggressiveness, that nature, the natural inclination to just go for the kill and get it. I think they need a little bit more of this.
The passiveness thing is sort of a very strange thing to kind of think about. Like, you picked up this comp, you know that there's a little bit more of a time limit before that grump job becomes just really, really, really annoying. But I again, at the same time, I just didn't really feel like that the aggression was there. Like, they just did kind of sit here passively. And now it's such a tanky game. It's such a tanky game as we get back into it, Dowsy. That's it's almost kind of mind-boggling that there's only 7 kills in 12 minutes.
Yeah, right. It as you say, 7 kills, only what, 400 gold separating these teams, 500. No one's been able to find the opening just yet. It's kind of been the same with all 3 games so far. Is that it's been slow to boot, slow to scale up, slow to find an advantage for both these guys.
There are so many scout traps in this lane. Like, this is where the fighting's happening. We're just putting down scout traps everywhere. Like, Abstract Wolf hangry somebody and just puts them on top of these scout traps. That's a lot of dancing that they got to do right there.
Yeah, it definitely is. Just stuff his belly full of them. They push up here, they're baiting in a fight, baiting Hardic to come in. He's going to start clearing scout traps. That player will find another 4 energy in the middle of the lane. Will they expect the 4 behind it is the question. Well, you know, just stay tuned for next week's episode. No, this could just come down to a single fight. You can see that the players are gearing up for it, but no one wants to be the hard aggressor, I don't think. Perhaps Abstract Wolf does with the Grumpjaw. We'll just have to find out.
Oh, that Grumpjaw dance.
Pretty sexy.
Shake that booty. Yeah. All right, more defense coming through as we get back into this one. Chombo picks up that Atlas. It's gonna be fantastic if Rock Bomber does not get any kind of Crucible off. And well, Abstract Wolf does have the Crucible, so he picked up what item at 9 minutes now. Crucible after some very long team fighting, and at the same time, again, like we're looking for something here, but Wolf get it?
Yeah, he just got blocked up there. I think.
Yeah, cooldown's down.
Down. So that is a 40-second cooldown found to come out huge. You know, cooldown blocked there by Chombo, I believe. Great stuff. And that gives Energy a bit of room in these fights. They can continue looking to poke down. This turret is still very healthy. No minion wave just yet. Rock Bomber knocks against the wall, protects his contract, keeps him healthy. But there's the Impale. Abstract Wolf going in to try and buy the space. But at the moment, Energy haven't quite been able to find the kill. Hardic, he does dive forward, has Frey ready to go if he wants to dive even further in. They're just going to take away this Treant for themselves. Minion Wave doing a little bit of work to the turret. Just a little bit. Just
cooldowns are up.
Tad. Cooldowns are up, you're right. Stuff available.
Yeah, but there's not really a big window, I feel. I mean, like, the anime girls didn't really get much out of this, and now that they've split, I don't see them kind of rinse repeating, trying to get this Grumpjaw, you know, down on cooldown. So Gold Miner, 20 seconds until he goes away. I'm not entirely too sure either side is going to be able to pick up the gold, but that's a bone saw to come through for Rock Bomber. More defense from Naruto. We have 4 Aegis and 2 Crucible. Everybody has something here at the 15-minute mark.
Kraken, she is awakened as well.
You know, the Gold Miner destroyed her ceiling. I'd be mad too.
Yeah. It's a bit rude. Just trying to have a nap. Beauty sleep, everyone needs it.
Gets to witness the majesty of Grumpjaw here.
Yeah, no, certainly do.
Alright, Hardic, finally 2 items. 15-minute mark, he has that offense ready to go. The Aegis, the tier 2 armor. Feels like Hardic's actually significantly behind, at least compared to Rock Bomber. If you look at, up against Naruto, maybe not significantly behind, but there's definitely a lot of power in these laners right now.
Yeah, there is power on them, but they're kind of like, I feel like they equalize themselves out. So, like, you know, Black Feather into Rona, it's kind of like very similar roles in a fight, how they're going to be doing things. So.
We have infusions for energy. We have no infusions for the anime girls, and that's just face check right here.
Abstract Wolf takes a huge chunk of damage. They're going forward. Energy, double root, double impale. Abstract trying to fountain it on up. There's the scout trap mine. Hardic's eating them all up, but no one's doing down. Abstract alive for now, but currently, what can Energy do? As you say, infusions at level 12. No one else there. There's the Burst of Judgment, gonna burst that turret down, but Chombo may have lost his life. The process fountain comes out. Abstract Wolf taking huge damage, is able to stuff up. No, but Hardic gets dropped down immediately, and that's gonna be 2 kills going Energy's way. The trigger pulled, shots fired, and a second turret goes Energy's way.
Oh, okay. Hardic saw an opportunity to pick up the kitty, but did not work out by the end. Still 2 kills. That's probably the biggest break we've actually had in this game. So, yeah, let's just keep capitalizing on that. Lane's going to push up. It's going to be Crystal Sentry down. That's the first Sentry down. Cleaning up the jungle and then just putting into the position here for Kraken. At this point, I don't think Energy will start Kraken. It's just a little bit late, but refreshing these... wow, quite a bit of shopping done. But refreshing these infusions, that's definitely going to be on deck here. Believe picked up 3rd item right there as well.
Yes, that's really huge for Believe. This 3-item Adagio if it wasn't doing enough damage already, certainly will be able to do so now with that broken myth unlocked. So this next fight could 100%, you know, seal the fate really for the best anime girls. T Energy pushing forward. If they get the ace, then they can get themselves a choke point turret. They can go in. Abstract Wolf goes in onto the wall. Impale though dodged away. Naratu going to try and burst down Believe. There's the Yami Captain Frenzy. They've got the kill, but it's traded on back. Rock Bomber now going on to Hardik, impaled down. There's no way he gets out alive. Surely Hardik gets the double, and now looking for a triple onto Abstract Wolf as he hungries away. This Grumpjaw trying his best to survive as he just runs them through the scout trap, buys some space. Impale just about dodges out, but that's him against the wall. Ace comes through. Hardik with the triple over time, and Energy now with the map open to them.
Yeah, that should be Kraken started up here in just a few. Like, Naruto just, fortunately, not really a big factor in that one. But more importantly, twice in 2 fights now. The big blocks on top of Abstract Wolf. There was nobody in his belly that fight. It was like they were trying to bring down Believe, and they brought him down real low. But if they had been able to eat somebody, that fight might have gone completely differently. But as it happens, that's 2 blocks in a row. It's either Chambu or whoever you hit. Like, just hit all the buttons, guys. And it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a Atlas purchased up here by Abstract Wolf. Rock Bomber has his own as well. Just trying to shut down the attack speed on Believe and Hardik. But look at Hardik just diving straight onto Naratu. It just makes things so hard for Naruto here. Like, if he can't go aggressive himself, getting rested upon makes things really difficult. Rock Bomber goes very low. That's going to be stuffed up Chombo, but look at Hardik charging on forward, looking for more. Hardik able to dodge out that ultimate from Koshka. The fountain comes out from Abstract Wolf, but he can't even make it through his own base. He's getting held back. He goes down. Chombo able to find the kill as they block up the last turret shot with a nice usage of the Crucible from Chombo. That is once more another kill going Energy's way. They're baiting in another fight. Oh, I for sure felt Hardik was going to stay. Perhaps Energy don't want another one. Do have to fall back now.
It's a very strange kind of story, like this whole game series, because it's been very slow compared to what we're used to. But 20 minutes in, no Kraken yet. Still can't seem to find that advantage, but only 8-6. But these last 8 kills have just been in good rapid succession here from Energy. It feels like they're almost just taking complete control of that. Like, Abstract Wolf has been dealt with. Like, 3 fights in a row, he has been a null factor, and that's a scary amount of power removed from the anime girls.
Yeah, he certainly has. Now we're going even further in as the tempo of this series kind of has been a back and forth, right?
And there goes the Sentry eliminated. That's 3 for 3. 3 fights, 3 wins for Energy, 3 Crystal Sentries. He's gone. He's donezo. That job is terminated.
Energy, they're pulling ahead quite substantially here. Abstract just hasn't had the same aggression on this rock wall. Neither has Rock Bottom. Look at him locked up. There's the ultimate stuffed on up. It's Hardik being pulled out of the fight, but you know, Naratu is on the back line and Rock Bottom's recalling from afar, trying to get back to base as quickly as possible as they try and defend under this choke point turret. Here comes Rock Bomber. Here is his chance to have the influence in the fight as the fountain goes forward. Naratu back in. Hardik low, Believe low as well. Kills going forward as that's going to be the Yummy Captain Frenzy locking Hardik down. Get the assassinate. Double for Rock Bottom. Chombo down as well. A triple kill for Rock Bottom. Impact secured for court. Now this should be a Kraken for Teabag.
So as soon as Abstract Wolf finds a handle in a fight, look at the difference in the result. Energy, 3 up, 3 down, eliminate the Sentry, start working on this choke, but they could not get themselves a Kraken. Even with an 8, they didn't go for it. Now, with a turret down, 2 pushing up in lane. I think it's only Abstract Wolf down here on top of this Kraken, but there's no danger. You do not need to rush it down. Instead, it's going to be a double turret there. And now, with so much cash just brought back into the fold, the anime girls could actually still end this one out. It was looking a little dire, but one fight, and they turn it all right back around.
That's it, man. You know, this Grumpjaw can just tank the Kraken up. His living armor allows for him to, you know, do enough attack damage with the increased attack speed and, you know, just tank it all up as well. We're going to see infusions come out, Halcyon charges completed. This next fight, the anime girls are going to be looking for it. The Kraken should be able to break open the base. The choke point turret is pretty much guaranteed, but how far do they take it is the question. If they win a single team fight, then it could just be it, them progressing, energy knocked into losers bracket.
Gold is almost a no issue at this point because we have such complete builds on the other side. I mean, yes, there's a few tier 2s that become tier 3s, but for the most part, like, as long as the anime girls here just kind of keep rinse repeating annoying energy to death and keep this Kraken healthy, they could do a lot of damage, but they're being very hesitant on this engage.
They don't want to throw anything away. They understand that they're still behind as far as energy is concerned. And Rock Bottom, he's getting aggressed onto there in the Crucible, but it doesn't achieve much. Chombo swallowed up though. That's going to be no items coming out, no fountains if they can find the damage. Chombo's back in and Rock Bottom is going very low. Fountain will not sustain him. Neratu just charging forward to do damage to this Vein Crystal turret. Maybe even be able to take it down with the Kraken if he can buy enough time for himself to allow Abstract Wolf to get the recall. Nice little play by Neratu, noticing that one of them is going to die, so we might as well get the value out of the Kraken, get 2 turrets instead of 1, but a fight lost does mean energy are back on the map.
So it kind of accomplished the goal that I was looking for. Like, again, if the enemy girls just distract, if they use the Grumpjaw to keep these guys slow, if they keep them in the belly, if they keep them split, right, you can really go a lot of different directions and distract a lot of energy's focus in terms of like trying to defend their base or looking for the kills, right? If you got to make them choose between what they're doing, then there's that hesitation and you can kind of push both sides, and that more or less happened. Yeah, they lost out 2 eventually here, but there's not going to be a loss anytime soon. Like, energy's going to pick up the jungle, right? But without minions, they're not going to be pushing down this this turret, I don't feel. And even if they do, there's still 2 more in their way. It's not like there's a huge rush into this one. But on the other side, the anime girls get themselves 2 turrets, and if they get another Kraken, if they get any kind of leverage in a team fight, it's only 1 turret between them and a win.
The biggest issue currently for the best anime girls is this Koshka just doesn't scale nearly as well as the rest of the energy roster.
Never
2
does.
damage items, 2 defensive items, hasn't even built into a 3rd offensive item here for Neratu. Just hasn't had the impact, really, not had this jungle available due to energy consistently taking it away. And so a team fight win kind of comes back of the perfect usage of stuff, just taking someone out of the fight, and the ability for Neratu and Rock Bomber to unite in their ability to burst down Believe, burst down Heartache while someone is out of the fight. You know, it could still go either way, but I feel like it's still energy's game to lose.
If energy are going to be doing this tactic of keeping the anime girls like up here at this this choke point turret, I might just send Heartache to go solo the Kraken. Like, at this point, he has more than enough, I think, to make it happen. And as long as you're showing yourself in lane, as long as you're showing yourself here in the jungle, right, the anime girls have 2 people to go through right there. If you can get that surprise Kraken and even just immediately back off, that's a big win.
Well, we're going to see another fight. It's going to be Rock Bomber up against the wall as he's trying to charge away. Heartache, though, sticking to him. Chombo eats on up. Heartache gonna chuck him under the turret here, but it's just buying time for Rock Bomber to come back in. Neratu getting bursted down. Here comes Rock Bomber. Chombo's so low on this Lance as well. Gonna start standing up with Believe and the Life Spring. Choke point does fall. Energy starting to walk away, but they're in vision, full vision, and look at this. The best enemy girls, they're not done. They want a fight, they want to chase, they want to try and take down energy whilst Chombo is low here.
Low-ish.
On to Believe. Here comes the engage. Heartache going straight back in. That's going to be Chombo eaten up. Believe gets the burst out, blocked down though, and then charging on to Believe, taken on down by Rock Bottom. Chombo was inside the belly of Grumpjaw. Can't use your fountain from there. Rock Bottom going low, but Yummy Company Frenzy going to keep Heartache at bay for now. Fountain does go out. Doesn't look clear cut just yet for the best anime girls. Heartache still sustaining, is going to get split though as Neratu finds the kill. Chombo almost gone as well. A double for Neratu, and that should be GG going forward for the best anime girls.
The best anime girls playing some phenomenal ping pong there at the end. Just, you saw them going in every direction. It was the triangle of doom. Like, you can make the Illuminati out of that one if you really want. But energy with no range, with Believe dead on the floor. There's no way they can catch up to that one. So you might sustain. It might take a while, but it's going to be long enough. And turret down here at Dowsy. I gotta say, this is the best stuff out of Grumpjaw that I've seen. My limited seeing capabilities right there, but man, I still believe you're gonna see both these teams in top 8 by the end of it all.
There you go. It's the best anime girls, the kings of a sustained fight, Dragon.
Wouldn't they be queens?
Yeah, I mean, and we actually, do want to highlight the fact that there are so many factors that go into wins and losses and momentum. The first victory with this Grumpjaw was incredible. We have not seen a lot of successful support Grumpjaws. If you go to VGPro.gg, you'll see Grumpjaw has one of the lowest win rates in most of the regions, actually. A lot of people haven't figured out the strategy, and I would actually say Game 1 was a great example on how to play Grumpjaw. They isolated Hardek every single game. They would actually pull him out of the fight. He's got breaking points, so if he's not stacking breaking points, even when he gets back into it, he's going to start really slow and not fast enough. They actually made mistakes a lot. They really tried to focus Chombo a lot with this Grumpjaw, and instead, I think near the late end, we started to see them pick up Hardek with Grumpjaw more. I think that's a better strategy, to go after the hero that's going to scale into these fights and keep him out of the fights for as long as you can. But yeah, for whatever reason, NRG has run into their nemesis, and it is Grumpjaw.
Man. All right. Well, that was certainly a fantastic series. Yeah, we started off a little bit kind of, this was a 12-minute game, but whew, that was almost a 30-minute game to end things off in a Game 3 against a 12-21 seed there, Dragon. Like, that is the stuff that the challenger brackets are made for.
I mean, and these are the kind of surprises that the challengers are trying to bring out of these teams. They're trying to challenge the teams. It's not just about us watching teams go head to head. It's actually challenging them, asking them, you need to get better, you need to improve, and forcing these teams to constantly, actually innovate. When you're innovating, you start to set distance between you and your competition. And the best anime girls, at least what I've seen so far, really starting to show some interesting compositions. Maybe they picked it up from somewhere, but Grumpjaw pulling out a victory, a surprise victory against NRG in what probably was supposed to be a little bit more one-sided NRG's way. I think NRG is going to have to hit the books, do some homework on what just happened here.
I do want to just put an asterisk on that, though. It's not just they're a Grumpjaw one-trick pony, right? They had Grumpjaw banned against them. They still went toe-to-toe with this team with fantastic stuff. It's not just their drafting. Their mechanics are extremely sound. Dowsy might not like their Idris, but that aside, they played really well mechanically. They had the game knowledge and they had the execution.
And builds, man. Abstract Wolf, contraption, second item, protect
contraption
contract,
every
steal
time,
his inventory at the end.
But
man.
I would say that this is also partly NRG's somewhat off-cadence, aggressive, not aggressive approach to these games, where they were over-aggressive. Like, they ended up taking down, I believe it was a Blackfeather really, really low, and they wanted to chase that. Instead, they opened up a gap. There's no sentry. They can rush over. They could start taking Kraken, or post up, farm a little bit. This idea that they had to end the game that moment was very strange right there at the end. And then, though, flip side that, there's times where we notice somewhat more of a passiveness, more of an unwillingness to engage. And near the end of the game, Hardek was becoming more and more aggressive. It seemed like there was this anxious tick in him to no, he needs to get these kills. They're missing out on opportunities to close out the game. And that's going to slowly slip into more mistakes. And it ended up being it. But why you would dive all the way under the turret for a kill... What I will say is Best Anime Girls, very good at being slippery, and right when you think you have them locked down for a kill, still managing to survive and pull out the victory. So hats off to them. I think they're going to definitely shake up the fold a little bit here, a little bit of talk as far as how they managed to do this, and also, like, is this composition they came up with, is it really viable? Because they did not walk into a slouch of a team. They really were going up against what many are considering a team that has a chance at the top 8, if not the top 4.
I believe they're up against Rage Pingers next, right? Next week.
Absolutely. There's another team that's really innovative. Like, they'll definitely try things in drafts, Rage Pingers that is, that you maybe don't see as commonplace. So definitely kind of excited. That's going to be a really great matchup.
For sure, man. It's such a great like feeling to finish the night tonight, Dragonborn, on such a creative, a thought-provoking series between Energy and the best anime girls. You know,
Yeah,
day one of Challenger Series is often considered to be one of the not the greatest days for quality because of the matchups we usually get. But that game there, I think a lot of people are going to be talking about the strategies employed.
I hope so. I know I'm going to be doing some research and homework myself. So until then, though, we are at the end of our broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, and we are, of course, have had a pretty exciting one, but for right now, we're going to have to say goodnight, as tomorrow we're going to start bright and early again for Group B. All these teams, though, through the winners and the loser bracket, they are going to be moving on to next week, as we have many more matches to play, and we'll be posting those brackets on VIS League on Twitter, so make sure you follow that intensely with all news and updates. Until then, though, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Only $14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.